Look, let me paint a picture for you. You work hard, you get a raise, you feel like you're finally moving up, but somehow at the end of the month you have less than when you started. Your bills are higher, your taxes are bigger, and that promotion actually made you poorer. Sounds backward, right? But honestly, this is one of the most well-hidden traps in the entire financial system. The more you earn the conventional way, the more the system is designed to extract from you. I'm Tom, and this is Tom Thinks. I'm here to cut through the Wall Street jargon and give you the real talk on your money, even if it hurts your feelings a little bit. If you're someone who has ever wondered why a bigger paycheck somehow never leads to more freedom, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now look, I need to say this clearly because YouTube requires it and because I actually believe it. This is not financial advice. I am a guy on the internet tracking corporate mechanics, not your certified financial planner. Do your own math. But what I'm going to show you today is the mathematical reality of why earning more money in the traditional way makes the average person poorer over time. And more importantly, I'm going to show you the structural exit ramp. The raise trap. Here's the thing that nobody tells you. When you get a raise from $80,000 to $110,000 a year, you do not just take home that extra 30 grand. The system is designed to capture a massive portion of it. Let me walk you through the math. First, you hit a higher marginal tax bracket. That extra $30,000 might be taxed at 22% or even 24% federally, plus state taxes, plus FICA. So right off the top, you lose maybe $8,000 to $10,000 to taxes, but that is just the beginning. Now your income is higher, so you start losing access to tax credits and deductions. The child tax credit phases out, the earned income tax credit, gone. Student loan interest deduction, reduced or eliminated. The Roth IRA contribution limit, you might be phased out entirely. So now you're paying more in taxes and losing credits that were effectively putting money back in your pocket. Here's where it gets really brutal. That higher income now makes you ineligible for means-tested benefits. If you were getting a subsidy on your health insurance through the ACA marketplace, that subsidy shrinks or disappears. If your child was receiving free or reduced lunch at school, your income might push you over the threshold. If you were receiving any state assistance for childcare, that gets cut. I have seen cases where a family gets a $10,000 raise and actually loses $15,000 in benefits and tax credits. That is a net loss of $5,000 for earning more money. Now, the financial industry tells you to just work harder, climb the ladder, and invest your 401k. But what the top-tier players know is that labor income is the most heavily taxed and heavily extracted form of income in the system. The wealthy do not earn their money through wages. They earn through capital gains, dividends, and business ownership. Those income streams are taxed at lower rates and do not trigger the benefit cliffs that destroy your net effective income. So while you are being told to chase a higher salary, the people at the top are structuring their income to avoid exactly the traps you're walking into. This is the deceptive reality. Earning more money through traditional employment is often a financial illusion. The system is extracting value from your raise faster than you can accumulate it. The Great Benefit Cliff? Now let me take you back to understand how this system was built. It was not always like this. In the 1950s and 1960s, the American economy was structured differently. You had strong unions, progressive taxation that actually captured wealth from the top, and a social safety net that did not punish you for earning more. But starting in the 1980s and accelerating through the 1990s and 2000s, we saw a fundamental shift. Corporate lobbying efforts pushed for tax policies that favored capital over labor. Top marginal income tax rate was slashed from over 70% to the 30s, but here's the part nobody talks about. The same laws that cut taxes for the wealthy also created a system of phase-outs and cliffs for the middle class. It is like the system was deliberately engineered to create a bottleneck. The Congressional Budget Office has done nonpartisan analysis showing that tax cuts overwhelmingly benefit the ultra-rich. We are talking about families making over $700,000 a year, getting a boost of over $13,000 annually, while households making under $24,000 a year lose about $1,200. But here's what is even more insidious. Those benefit cliffs did not happen by accident. They were designed by lobbyists and policymakers who understood that if you could keep the middle class trapped in a narrow band of income, they would never accumulate enough capital to challenge the existing power structure. Look at the non-compete agreements. 50 million Americans or more are subject to these things, and they are not just for executives anymore. They are for security guards, factory workers, foster parents, fast food workers. One lawyer I know has spent 7 years defending poor people against bogus non-compete agreements. He has seen cases where a company sues a janitor for trying to take a better-paying job across the street. Think about that. A janitor. The non-compete was originally supposed to protect trade secrets and proprietary information, but now it is used to suppress wages and prevent ordinary competition. The corporate lawyers who push these agreements know exactly what they are doing. They are creating a legal architecture that traps workers in low-wage positions. If you try to earn more by switching jobs, they sue you. And because you do not have $100,000 for legal fees, you either settle or give up. This is the hidden foundation of the modern economy. It is not a free market. It is a rigged game where the rules are written by those who already hold the chips. The extraction loops. Let me show you how the extraction mechanics work on a daily basis. There are 3 primary loops that take money out of your pocket every time you earn more. Loop number 1 is the tax and benefit cliff. I already walked you through the math on that, but let me make it concrete. Imagine you're a single parent making $42,000 a year. You qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit worth about $6,300. You get a subsidy for your health insurance, and your child qualifies for reduced lunch. Now you get a raise to $47,000. Your EITC drops by over $1,000. Your health insurance premium goes up by maybe $2,000. Your child loses reduced lunch eligibility. That $5,000 raise just cost you $4,000 in lost benefits. Your net gain is $1,000, but inflation is running at 3%, so your purchasing power actually went down. Loop number 2 is lifestyle creep driven by debt. When you earn more, banks offer you more credit. They raise your credit card limits, they offer you a bigger mortgage. And here's the psychology. You feel like you deserve nicer things because you worked hard for that raise. So you buy a bigger car. You move to a more expensive apartment. You start eating out more. But the problem is that these are fixed costs. Once you adjust your lifestyle upward, it is very hard to adjust back down. So when the next expense hits, you are already stretched. And because you have more credit available, you use it. The average American household carries over $8,000 in credit card debt. Every dollar of that debt is being extracted from you at 22% interest. That new car payment? That is a wealth transfer to the bank. Loop number 3 is the health and productivity tax. Research shows that poor sleep is linked to lower income. But here's the vicious cycle. When you earn more, you often work more hours or take on more stress. You sleep less. Poor sleep leads to worse health outcomes. Worse health leads to higher medical bills. Higher medical bills eat into your income. And because you're earning more, you might not qualify for Medicaid or subsidies, so those medical bills hit you at full price. One study found that more than half of the differences in health outcomes between white and black Americans can be attributed to differences in sleep quantity or quality. And sleep is directly tied to income. The system is literally making you sicker as you climb the income ladder and then charging you more to get treated. These 3 loops, tax and benefit cliffs, debt-driven lifestyle inflation, and health extraction form a closed system that captures nearly every dollar of additional income you earn. The capital income switch. So now comes the question, what is the alternative? If earning more through wages is a trap, how do the wealthy actually build wealth? The answer is surprisingly simple and incredibly hard to execute. They switch from earning through labor to earning through capital. Let me explain the mechanics. When you earn $1 through wages, that dollar is taxed at your ordinary income tax rate, which can be as high as 37% federally, plus state taxes, plus payroll taxes. You also trigger benefit cliffs. But when you earn $1 through long-term capital gains or qualified dividends, that dollar is taxed at a maximum rate of 20%, and it does not trigger the same benefit cliffs. More importantly, capital income allows you to control the timing of your taxes. You can defer gains for years or even decades. You can harvest losses to offset gains. You can use strategies like the step-up in basis at death to eliminate capital gains taxes entirely for your heirs. The wealthy know this. That is why the top 1% earns about half of their income from capital gains and dividends, while the bottom 90% earns less than 5% from those sources. But there is an even more powerful mechanism. Business ownership allows you to deduct expenses against your income before taxes are calculated. If you own a business, you can deduct your health insurance premiums, your retirement contributions, your vehicle expenses, your home office, even your meals. The tax code is written to favor business owners over employees. This is not a conspiracy. It is literally written into the Internal Revenue Code. Look at the 2017 tax reform. It created a deduction for pass-through business income, the Section 199A deduction, which allows certain business owners to deduct up to 20% of their business income. That deduction is not available to W-2 employees. So a business owner earning $200,000 might pay taxes on only $160,000. An employee earning the same amount pays taxes on the full $200,000. This is the structural advantage that the wealthy use. And here is the key insight. You do not need to build a massive corporation to access these tools. Many of these structures are available to anyone who can create a legitimate business entity and shift their income from labor to capital. The system is not equally rigged against everyone. It is rigged against people who earn their money through wages. The exit ramp is learning how to earn through ownership. Building the asset engine. Now let me walk through how the strategy actually positions itself. This is not a step-by-step instruction manual, but a framework for understanding the mechanics. The first principle is to shift the primary income source from labor to assets over time. Historically, investors have utilized index funds, real estate, and business equity to build wealth that outpaces inflation and avoids the benefit cliffs that plague wage earners. The strategy relies on the concept of tax-advantaged compounding. When you hold an asset that appreciates in value, you do not pay taxes on that appreciation until you sell. This is called tax deferral, and it is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools in existence. If you buy an asset for $100,000 and it grows to $200,000 over 10 years, you owe zero taxes during that decade. Your money is compounding on the full $200,000, not on the after-tax amount. Compare that to earning a bonus at work. If you get a $10,000 bonus, you might take home $6,500 after taxes. The government takes $3,500 immediately. That money is gone. It never compounds. Over 30 years, that $3,500 could have grown to over $30,000 at 7% returns. The system is robbing you of future compound growth every time you earn a dollar through wages. The second principle is to build asset income streams that do not require active labor. This is the difference between trading time for money and owning systems that produce money. A rental property generates income whether you're working or sleeping. A dividend-paying stock portfolio generates income whether you are on vacation or in a meeting. An online business with automated systems generates income whether you're actively managing it or not. Third principle is geographic and jurisdictional arbitrage. The wealthy do not just earn through capital, they also choose where to be taxed. States like Florida, Texas, and Nevada have no state income tax. Countries like Singapore, Switzerland, and the UAE have favorable tax treatment for capital income. Even within the United States, you can choose to live in a state that does not tax capital gains or dividends. The average person is told to focus on their career, climb the corporate ladder, and save 10% of their income. But that advice keeps you trapped in the labor income extraction loop. The structural exit is to use the cash flow from your labor to acquire assets that eventually produce enough capital income to replace your labor income entirely. Owning your financial future. Here's where we land. The entire premise of this video is that the system is designed to extract wealth from people who earn through labor and concentrate it among people who earn through capital. And the math is undeniable. The Congressional Budget Office has shown that tax policy shifts billions of dollars from working families to the ultra-rich. The courts have validated non-compete agreements that trap workers in low-wage jobs. The benefit cliffs punish people for trying to improve their economic situation, but recognizing the trap is the first step to escaping it. I want you to drop a comment below and share your own experience with this financial bottleneck. Have you ever gotten a raise only to find that your net effective income actually went down? Have you ever been blocked from taking a better job by a non-compete? Have you ever lost benefits because you earned too much? Share your story. That is how we wake each other up to these mechanics. And if you know someone who is grinding away at a job, proud of their raises but somehow never getting ahead, send them this video. They need to understand the game they are playing. Here's the philosophical truth. The wealthy do not earn more money. They own more assets. They understand that labor income is a trap and capital income is freedom. They structure their lives to minimize the extraction mechanisms and maximize the compounding effects. You can do the same. It starts with changing how you think about income. Stop asking, how can I earn more? Start asking, how can I own more? How can I shift my income from the labor column to the capital column? How can I build assets that produce income without my active involvement? The answers to those questions are the path out of the trap. Look, I'm not telling you to quit your job tomorrow. I'm telling you to start building the escape hatch while you're still employed. Use the cash flow from your labor to acquire assets. Learn how business structures work. Understand the tax code well enough to use it to your advantage. The system is rigged, but it is rigged in predictable ways. And predictable systems can be navigated. Go look at your balance sheet with fresh eyes. Your future self will thank you.
Found this interesting? Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like, share it out, and drop your questions or ideas in the comments. Until our next adventure.